Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man that go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queens.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your
Ahmadiyyah.
skin?
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
We get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Now let's see who's in here. Okay. Buckhorse DC, I need you to stop spamming the chats. Okay, Buckhorse DC, I'm talking to you. Stop spamming the chat, please, and thank you. Okay, Miss Anticipate, Renee is here. Just Anticipate. Let's get into it, Pretty Wings. Claudette. All right, Ashkan is here. Truth Brown is here. Paul Parody. All right, let's get into it. G from the land, I see you. LL, Michael M. Okay, shout out to all of my loyal worlds and everyone tuning into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay. Buckhurst CC, what is all this stuff you keep putting in my chat? Seriously. Hey, Shawshana, beloved. Trisha, I see you. Mike Bolden. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. I'm going to have to put Buckhurst DC in a timeout if he keeps it up. Yeah, you're typing too much BS in the chat, and you're doing it back to back, okay? Sit down somewhere. Hey, Just Joy. Hey, Reggie. Nessie X. Okay, let's get into it. Before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil, excuse me, at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find her products at Walmart.com, and don't forget that she sells beard oil as well. Hey, Original Man. All right, hey, Desmond. Okay, so let's get this party started because it's a whole lot going on. And then I have to come back later because I'm having a special guest on the show, okay, today. And tomorrow we're having a panel discussion. Okay? Now, let's talk about this because Iran has struck a cargo ship while transmitting the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, here's what they say. According to the multiple reports published today, a cargo ship was struck while transiting the Strait of Hormuz. Transiting the Strait of Hormuz. And U.S. officials have attributed the attack to Iran. So now here's what the key details are. They said the vessel was a Singapore flagged cargo ship traveling near the coast of Oman in the Strait of Hormuz. Now the ship was hit by a projectile that damaged its bridge. The crew was reported to be safe with no injuries. Now, however, 2 U.S. officials told Reuters the attack was carried out by Iran, reportedly using a drone or other projectile. Iran has not publicly accepted responsibility for the strike. Well, let's just wait until they take responsibility because this sounds like it could be BB. I mean, you never know. Okay, following the incident, the International Maritime Organization temporarily paused its evacuation and the escorts efforts in the area while reassessing security. Now, commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz slowed after the attack, although some tankers continue to transit the waterway. What is really going on, honey? And BB's out here making all kinds of threats. Y'all know we need to keep an eye on him because it sounds like he's up to something to do with some nuclear weaponry. That's what it sounds like with these threats he's making. Okay, let's go to this video that someone did about this. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share.
Showing that Iran hit U.S. bases in the Gulf so hard that Washington is now considering relocating them. The investigation was released by the Wall Street Journal, outlining a major reassessment of.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you all. They hit our U.S. bases really hard, too, and it isn't looking good. But let's continue.
America's military posture in the Middle East following a series of highly destructive Iranian drone and missile strikes. The main reason for this shift is the extensive damage suffered at NSA Bahrain, the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet. The Pentagon has been trying to downplay the impact publicly to avoid sounding vulnerable. However, internal assessments and independent satellite analyses reveal the true scale of the destruction. Independent analysts estimate between $2 to $5 billion in total damage to U.S. bases region-wide, with the rebuilding of the NSA Bahrain alone estimated at $400 million. The Fifth Fleet headquarters was damaged so heavily it's now completely unusable. In total, over 12 buildings were severely compromised, including command and control units, barracks, dining facilities, and a security guard training building. As a result of all this, U.S. officials are actively debating plans to reduce the American military footprint in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. The Pentagon is considering shifting certain bases, personnel, and operations further west out of the immediate striking range of Iran. Israel is a primary candidate under evaluation. I'm also going to be posting these full articles on Substack early, so if you want access to them for free, check the link in my bio. A new bomb.
Okay, so it looks like everyone is posting on Substack these days. I think I need to start doing the same. Okay, so as you heard, they have absolutely hit the U.S. bases again, and it is not good. But also, the U.S. has been called out about the blatant lies and BS narratives that they have been pushing. Now, they've been acting as though there's only 13 people dead. But what we also are now finding out is that some of the soldiers that they have listed as basically saying they have minor injuries, they are telling so many lies, you all. These people, let me just give you an example. There was one soldier who has lost sight and hearing and has had so many surgeries. He's literally been in a hospital for months, and they say that he won't be released for another 6 months, okay? But they told his wife that he had minor injuries. I mean, the lies from this administration are absolutely unfathomable as far as I'm concerned. Okay, but let's talk more about this ship that they hit. Here we go.
Huge breaking news coming in. Singapore-flagged cargo ship Ever Lovely was reportedly struck near Oman, forcing emergency plans to evacuate stranded vessels in the Strait of Hormuz to be frozen. This wasn't just any ship. The vessel was hit just 7.5 nautical miles off Dahit, right as the International Maritime Organization had been finalizing a protected corridor along Oman's coast to help hundreds of trapped commercial ships leave the Gulf safely. Not only that, the strike came only hours after Iran reportedly warned ships that any vessel moving outside approved routes would do so at its sole responsibility. Moreover, this is happening in the middle of one of the longest maritime disruptions in the region in years, with some ships stranded for over 100 days as insurance costs soared and shipping traffic slowed dramatically. And here's why the world is watching. The Strait of Hormuz handles nearly 20% of global oil and a huge portion of LNG exports. Any threat there doesn't just affect the Gulf, it shakes global energy markets instantly. Now, the big question is, was this an isolated strike or the start of a tougher Iranian enforcement campaign in one of the world's most important waterways? Make sure to follow for latest updates.
This is a darn shame. The world is in a catastrophic condition at this point. I also heard that Russia is out of oil. Now, I wonder how this all happened. Hold on for a second. What's going on here? Mr. Elevation, is it your birthday, beloveds? Is it your birthday? Hold on. I'm going through here. I'm being nosy. Hold on. Happy birthday, Mr. Elevation. Happy solar return to you, beloved. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed and amazing day. Now, Jerron says, it's not real, could have easily done that because they reject any deals made by our country with Russia. Yes, you already know they could have done it, beloved. And that's why I said we need to wait and hear what Iran has to say first. But also, speaking of Izzy, okay, Satan Yahoo is out here making threats and whatnot. Okay, I mean, I don't know what he is up to, but I think everyone needs to be paying attention. Let's get into it.
Netanyahu gave a speech in Hebrew yesterday and said he has a major surprise for Iran that will completely destabilize the country. Netanyahu is asking Iranians to lay down their weapons and surrender or face death. I'm really starting to wonder if this is a threat for a nuclear option. I will be surprised if they do, but at the same time, I won't be surprised at all because you can't put nothing past these guys. It may be because of the fact that the Israeli Health Ministry today said at least 1,929 people have been hospitalized, including 157 in the past 24 hours since the start of the Iran war, plus all the destruction we have been seeing. And like I said, 157 people were injured just yesterday. The Yemen leadership, the Houthis, have announced, and I quote, "We will soon enter the battle with surprises." If they do join, this will be a three-front war for Israel with real armies. Hezbollah in Lebanon hasn't stopped bombing northern Israel. Word is there's a total electricity blackout in Kiryat Shimona from the rockets, and they are lobbing rockets with no deterrence at all. I believe the Iron Dome is completely out of commission at this point. Yesterday, I reported that breaking.
Now, this man claims that Russia is out of oil. I'm going to let you all hear this, and then I'm going to tell you what exactly is going on. Truth Brown says they can't be trusted at all. Of course not, beloved. Not at all.
Give me a minute and let's talk about the fuel crisis in Russia, which has Russians baffled. Social media out of Russia is absolutely full of bewildered Russians who cannot understand how a country whose economy is based on oil could be out of gasoline. And they are out of it. The country is increasingly paralyzed, and the frustration of the Russian people is clear. Restrictions on the purchase and sale of gasoline have been extended to 26 federal regions of the Russian Republic, while shortages or other supply disruptions are reported in all but 4 of Russia's 80-odd federal districts. On top of this, the Yaroslav oil depot is burning this morning, struck by Ukrainian drones last night. On top of this, we've learned that the Kostovo oil refinery, Russia's 4th largest, responsible for processing 17 million tons of crude oil a year, is currently offline. Now, the repairs there are expected to be affected pretty quickly. There's some failover. It's such a big place. They don't just have one primary refining unit, even though primary would make you think there would only be one. But no. So it's likely that Kostovo will be reopened soon. However, Reuters is reporting that the Moscow oil refinery that supplies 40% of Moscow's fuel is unlikely to reopen before 2027. And the amazing thing is that Zelensky has just ordered the SBU to begin a pressure campaign on Moscow to bring them to the table. Now is when they're ratcheting up the pressure, when the pressure is already on. The Kremlin must feel like a pressure cooker.
What's going on, Vladimir Putin? Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, here's the thing. Russia isn't out of crude oil, but it's facing its most severe nationwide fuel shortages in years. Okay, a highly effective campaign of Ukrainian drone strikes targeting energy infrastructure has knocked out over 20% of Russia's oil refining capacity. Now, this has forced the Kremlin to impose domestic fuel rationing and import refined products from countries like Kazakhstan. Now, they say major facilities such as the North Sea plant, which is Russia's fourth largest refinery, and the Kaptinya refinery, Moscow's largest supplier, have been severely damaged. This is not good. It sounds like Ukraine is giving them that work. Okay, so at least 17 regions, including occupied Crimea, have implemented sales restrictions or rationing limits at the pump. And then to stabilize the domestic market, the Kremlin expanded ongoing bans on gasoline and jet fuel exports and is considering limits on diesel. Now, while Russia still holds vast crude oil reserves and pumps millions of barrels a day, it lacks the domestic capacity to process enough of it into everyday usable fuel like petrol and diesel. Well, y'all heard it. Y'all heard. That's very interesting to hear as far as I'm concerned. Okay, because I thought they were whipping the hell out of Ukraine. Maybe that isn't the case. But let's talk about the cover-up of the American casualties. Okay, because the Young Turks reported on this, and there's been a whole lot of lying going on, and we've been knowing this. I've been telling you all this for months. Okay, I've been telling you all this for months. The Pentagon is minimizing U.S. soldiers' injuries. Okay, so Tucker Carlson and the Young Turks were both talking about this. They say families of service members injured in the war are claiming that the Pentagon is downplaying their injuries. Okay, so let's get into it. This is a darn shame. Lying to the families of these soldiers so they don't even know what's really going on with them, with their loved ones in this illegal war. Let me put my overlay on this.
Mad at Trump personally. It's that I just grieve for what his decisions in the Middle East have done to the country. And not just the war with Iran, but being a slave of Israel. What? You're an American, dude. This is humiliating to you. Not that I care, but to me, I do care. And my country, I care a lot. You can't be a slave to a foreign power. Stop. So that's why I'm upset. But I'm rooting for him every day, as I would root for anybody leading my country. And, we lost the war. That's why we're settling. We lost in the sense that we didn't achieve any of our goals, and Iran is now more powerful than it was when we started. But we could lose much worse than we did by continuing, and the outcome would not change, which a lot more people would die, and our power would be even further eroded.
Yeah, Tucker's not the only American furious that we're not getting reality about the war, including how many casualties we've had. So Anna, tell us about that.
Yes, in fact, some of the family members of our troops have been speaking to the press about what the reality is, and we're not getting the full story. Now, so far, the official story is that 13 of our soldiers have tragically been killed. There could be more, but we don't know that for sure yet. The real question is, when it comes to the soldiers who have been wounded, how badly have they been wounded? Because if you were to take Pete Hegseth's word for it, well, turns out he's a big fat liar. In fact, here's what he had to say previously about American casualties.
Right there, green jacket.
Mike Bress with the Washington Examiner. How many American casualties have there been, and where were the American service members when they were injured?
I mean, it's a bunch of return to duty. So we've had the large majority have gone in for some medical treatment and return to duty. We've had in Kuwait, Jordan, down across the southern flank a little bit, a variety of places, most from one-way attack strikes.
But I want to clarify that. I think what we've tried to do here is clarify those numbers rather than saying KIA or WIA wounded. Be more clear about that because the overwhelming majority, almost 90%, thank God, are returned to duty. Minor injuries returned to duty, and so that number can look a certain way, and our job is to add some fidelity to it.
That man is a lying dog. Do y'all hear him? And you see how he just took over the conversation so he could spin and give the lies. Thank you. Reggie said numbers, please. Okay. Just lying. But hold on. Listen to this. Now, mind you, he said about 90% of them have been able to return back to work. They only had minor injuries. That's right, Greta. Minor injuries and major lies. Okay.
Well, a new investigative report by CBS News, of all places. I mean, usually they provide cover for the Trump administration and glaze the Trump administration. But in this case, their report shows that both Hegseth and General Kane totally downplayed how badly some of our servicemen and women have been injured. So just to give you a few excerpts from this report, Chief Warrant Officer Rodney Berman's body was riddled with shrapnel in the early hours of the war on.
Now, I want you all to listen to this man's injuries, okay? Hey, Cyrus, beloved, I want you all to listen to the amount of injuries. Now, they're saying that these people had minor injuries. This is like beyond ridiculous. Okay, let's continue.
March 1st, when an Iranian drone slammed into his workstation in Kuwait. Medical records show he also suffered a concussion, hearing and vision loss, and damage to his lungs. The Army has classified his condition as not seriously injured. Then you have Sergeant First Class Corey Hicks.
So this soldier lost hearing and vision, okay, suffered a concussion and has damage to his lungs. But they say his condition is not seriously injured. Now, how crazy is that? These people should be ashamed of themselves.
Hicks, 37 years old, also suffered severe shrapnel wounds from the blast and underwent multiple emergency surgeries in a Kuwaiti hospital. He said his wife was told by an Army official after the strike that his injuries were minor. Obviously not minor. Once stabilized, Hicks was airlifted to a hospital in Germany and later to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, where he required inpatient care. Usually that's not something to expect when you just have minor injuries, inpatient care. And it wasn't for a day, it wasn't for 2 days. He received inpatient care for several weeks. And in fact, he remains at the hospital 4 months after the attack with a severe traumatic brain injury. He is expected to be there for another 6 months. So minor. It's so sick. This is so sick. So in several cases, injured service members said that they had been cleared for duty, but that duty involves active orders to recuperate from injuries in specialized soldier recovery units. So when you're telling the American people the soldiers are okay, their injuries were minor, they've already returned to duty, and it turns out what they're considering duty is recuperating from their severe injuries, it's very clear they're lying to you. So that's
some lying devils. Okay, I don't even know why they just do this. Like they're not going to get caught. But anyway, now let's talk about them trying to get rid of the Haitians and the Syrians. Let's get into it because I find this all egregious. Hold on. Let me just pull this up. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. So Democracy Now! Did a whole story on this. And they're basically taking back their protected status. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. So the Supreme Court has ruled. Hold on, let me get this overlay real quick.
The Supreme Court ruled in another 6-3 decision that the Trump administration can strip away protected status from 350,000 Haitian immigrants and 6,100 Syrian immigrants who've been living and working lawfully in the United States under temporary protected status, known as TPS. The program, designed for foreign citizens of countries the U.S. government believes are too unstable or dangerous to be returned to, often due to natural disasters or war. The loss of TPS will put hundreds of thousands of people at risk for deportation. This is Gerline Joseph, co-founder of the Haitian Bridge Alliance, speaking yesterday.
Yes, today hurts, but we will continue to fight on behalf of the 1.3 million TPS holders from 17 countries. Today, it is Haiti and Syria. Tomorrow is Venezuela, Nicaragua, and others. So together, we say no to injustice, and we must make sure that we as a country stand on the right side of history.
White House senior aide Stephen Miller, who is seen as the architect of the president's deportation agenda, took questions from reporters after the ruling came down.
Does your administration consider Haiti a safe country?
For Haitians, absolutely.
For Haitians. Do not travel
Yeah, so yes, Haitians live in Haiti. It's not our position that Haitians should leave Haiti. I mean, it'd be crazy for us to say that Haitians couldn't live in Haiti. It's their country. Of course, Haitians should live in Haiti.
The case is Mullen versus Doe. The conservative majority ruled the Supreme Court lacked authority to review how the president or Department of Homeland Security used their authority on TPS. He also rejected the idea that racial prejudice was involved in the decision for Haitians. In her dissent for the liberal minority, Justice Elena Kagan said it was, quote, plain to see that race played a role, writing, quote, the evidence includes statements by the president so repellent and racially inflected that the majority declines to put them in.
These people are something else, okay? They're something else. So notice they're targeting the black and brown people, of course. But hold on, black people, because I know y'all didn't think they don't have something for you too, right? We'll get to that in a second. But let's find out what Bibi has been doing. Okay, because I told you all he's been trying to destroy every peace deal.
Israel just killed another peace deal. So we were at 95% done, according to Scott Jennings and Sean Spicer and Donald Trump himself, who said we're almost done. Then he had a call with Benjamin Netanyahu, and magically we came out with new unreasonable demands. Who could have possibly guessed? Us. But mainstream media is a flummoxed by it. We can't figure out what happened. Here's what happened. Israel happened. So the three things that they demanded were their enriched uranium has to be out on day one. The uranium is wanted as this part of the second stage. So it's totally unrealistic to get it out on day one because most of it's buried anyway. Number two, Israel demanded the right to attack Lebanon, even though there would be a ceasefire. In other words, only one side follows a ceasefire and the other. They demand to be able to kill anyone they like in Lebanon and take as much land as they want in Lebanon. Totally unreasonable. And they want everyone to sign on to the Abraham Accords that would betray the Palestinians and not allow them freedom. Well, nobody's going to agree to that. So we're going to have more war thanks to Israel.
It's always wars, honey, thanks to BB. And also, Reggie, thank you for your Cash App donation, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. But that isn't all. So they also supposedly destroyed an entire Lebanon village. Okay, let's talk about it because this is so sick. I don't understand how these people keep getting away with these things. Why isn't anyone doing anything to stop them? Aren't these called war crimes? Of course they are.
Breaking news. The fighting in southern Lebanon keeps getting worse and worse. Israel continues its destruction there, and today they demolished an entire village, the village of Chayam, which many say is against international law and violations of agreements. I guess Israel thought they did this in Gaza, and no one flinched, so they might as well start doing this in Lebanon. Yesterday, under intense fighting in the same village between Hezbollah and IDF soldiers, Iran sent a ballistic missile to the village of Chayam. It looks like Hezbollah is starting to get some air support. Direct coordination is now happening in southern Lebanon between the IRGC and Hezbollah. The strike hit the outskirts of Chayam and disrupted Israeli ground advancement operations in the area. Hezbollah says they are preparing for a long war with Israel and have many surprises in store. Over the past week, Hezbollah fired more missiles and drones into Israel than they had in the previous 20 years. And to be honest with you guys, Hezbollah has surprised me and a lot of other people. I was one of the people who thought they were diminished and down and out, but now I see that's not true at all. They seem much more stronger, much more organized than I've ever seen them. Back to Israeli airstrikes. According to Lebanese media, Israel has hit the Dahya over 7 times tonight. And Iran has been bombarding Israel with airstrikes nonstop tonight and sending missiles to Kurdish positions in Erbil. Haifa has been hit. Donald Trump, the liar-in-chief, has once again tried to fool the Iranians. Today he lied and said he's postponing the bombing of the energy plants for 5 days, but he decided to hit them tonight. The explosion looked unreal. This war is getting more and more intense by the day. Iran said yesterday, we have not seen anything yet. Stay tuned.
It's a darn shame. Okay, this is a darn shame. Like, when is this crap going to end? Gas is over $4. Okay, this is ridiculous. I am so sick of it. I am so over it, okay? But now let's talk about Trump. Because Trump is trying to stop the NAACP's lawsuit. Okay, so Elon Musk can put his nefarious data centers in Black people's neighborhoods to poison us all. Okay, please pay attention. Let's get into it. So the Trump administration is coming to the defense of Elon Musk in a lawsuit over claims that his artificial intelligence company, XAI, is polluting residential neighborhoods in North Mississippi. Now, the Justice Department told a federal court late on Monday to throw out the case. The lawsuit was filed by the NAACP in April over allegations that XAI and its subsidiary MZX Tech set up dozens of methane gas turbines to power its data center in South Haven, Mississippi, without air permits. Now, Trump thinks it's perfectly fine for them to be able to do this without having their permits. So the suit claims that these turbines emit toxic pollutants in violation of the Clean Air Act, and is asking a judge to block XAI from operating the machines. Now, the Department of Justice says this data center is being used to train and develop AI models that are critical to the economy and the Department of War, and the turbines are necessary to power the facility. So in a 33-page memo filed in Mississippi federal court, the government also claimed that under the Clean Air Act, it can terminate such citizen lawsuits. I want you all to pay attention. So this low-down, dirty dog by the name of Trump, is attacking Black folk on all sides of the spectrum. I want you all to pay attention, okay? I want you all to pay attention. Hey, LeVar, Cyrus says $5.49 a gallon here in Seattle. Wow, that's just crazy. It's only going to get worse, sadly, because it doesn't look like this war's coming to an end anytime soon, beloved, thanks to Satan Yahoo. So they go on to say that the Department of Justice says this data center is being used to train and develop AI models that are critical. Oh, I read that part. Hold on. So they say the Department of Justice will not sit idly by while private organizations use environmental laws to undermine our national security. This is what Adam Gustafson, a Deputy Assistant Attorney General for the Justice Department's Environment and Natural Resources Division, said. Do you all hear this? So they don't give a damn about the laws, Okay, that's what they don't care about. They don't give one single damn about environmental laws, you all. Saying the Department of Justice will not sit idly by while private organizations, talking about the NAACP, mind you, use environmental laws to undermine our national security. So here's what they're doing. They're trying to frame this as though what Elon is doing with these data centers is so paramount to national security. But that's all a whole load of BS. And then they want to put it in black people's neighborhoods. Like, I hate all of these bitches. But let's continue. So goes on to say XAI's central focus is a chatbot called Grok, okay, which is similar to ChatGPT, but has been known for controversy, including non-consensual deepfakes, sexualized images of women and even minors, please pay attention, and referring to itself as Mecha Hitler. Now, the Justice Department wrote in its filing that Grok's continued availability was paramount to national security, and the military version of the chatbot had assisted U.S. forces to deploy over 2,000 munitions to 2,000 distinct targets within 96 hours in the war against Iran. So they have AI helping them to fight the war. Now, XAI's parent company, SpaceX, had the largest initial public offering in history. Last week, valuing it at more than $2 trillion. The IPO also minted Musk as the world's first trillionaire. Oh, I'm sure he is a trillionaire after he allegedly stole all that money while he was working with Doge. Okay, he was there unchecked. There was nobody overseeing what the hell he was doing. He was closing down different government programs or whatever. Okay, let me just say allegedly. And he was doing all of these things and saying that there was too much government spending and whatever. And all of a sudden, y'all think it's a coincidence that now all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's a trillionaire? Okay, is that what y'all think? Honey, this is all nefarious. When are there aliens coming? Because somebody has to come put a stop to it all.
Arguing in court that Elon Musk's AI company should be allowed to pollute majority black neighborhoods without having the required permits. The DOJ filed a motion in a Mississippi federal court asking a judge to dismiss a Clean Air Act lawsuit against Elon Musk's company, XAI. The case comes from an April 2026 lawsuit brought by the NAACP and environmental groups, which alleges XAI is.
Okay, he's saying the same thing I'm saying. Let's go to this next report where they said the DOJ moves to dismiss NAACP's pollution lawsuit. This is from MS Now. This is like so crazy to me. Like, it is just like so insane to me that the devils are in so much power and they have so much control, and it is just going unchecked and no one is doing anything to them or about them. It's really crazy. Why didn't Dems give Trump pushback about that Doge money? They did, but the Republicans are in control, so it's only so much they can do, beloved. Now, let's go to this because I'm just about to be over it. I'm about to leave this country because I am so sick of it. Okay, I am so sick of it, seriously. Right. Mr. Midnight Decipher said, fake moon landings and fake aliens. Okay.
Trump's Department of Justice made an extraordinary move. They intervened in an environmental lawsuit filed against Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, XAI. That's the company behind what you probably know as Grok. And they called on the court to simply toss out the lawsuit against Musk's private company altogether. This suit, led by the NAACP, has been alleging that Musk's AI lab is violating the Clean Air Act by using dozens of these methane gas burning turbines installed across Memphis and northern Mississippi to power its data centers. The turbines are loud and they emit potentially dangerous smog and particulate matter, which can lead to asthma and heart disease. And the community, the NAACP argues, is bearing this burden and breathing all of this in, includes many of the exact same Black neighborhoods that just lost their political representation through Trump's redistricting push. Joining me now is Laura Toms, the Director of Enforcement at Earth Justice, who represents the NAACP and the Southern Environmental Law Center in this lawsuit. Until last year, she was an Assistant Chief for Environmental Enforcement at the Justice Department. Laura, I want to read to you the statement from the DOJ in its filing. Quote, The NAACP threatens American national, economic, and energy security by seeking to shut off the power supply for artificial intelligence innovation that supports the Department of War's military operations. And then it goes on to list examples of how xAI's Grok has assisted with military operations as recent as the Iran war. I want to begin with your response to that.
As you mentioned, I worked at the Department of Justice prior to coming to this job. I was there for 19 years doing environmental enforcement work. And what I can tell you is that this is an astonishing position for the government to take. Just to put this in context, what this neighborhood, what these communities are dealing with are 60 unpermitted methane gas turbines that are pumping out air pollution around the clock. This includes things like nitrogen oxides, formaldehyde, sulfur dioxide, particulate matter, carbon monoxide. These all cause serious adverse health effects on the community. What the government now is saying is that they have the unilateral and unreviewable authority to veto the citizen suit to bring this company back into compliance. What they're saying is that this administration and only this administration can decide whether or not a company is allowed to violate the law at the risk of nearby communities.
I have to ask, I'm left to wonder, basically, if the Justice Department would be making these arguments for a data center of this kind on behalf of anyone other than Elon Musk.
I think what's really concerning here is the power grab that this represents. What they're saying is that this administration is the only one that can make this decision, regardless of how many violations, regardless of the serious health impacts on the nearby neighborhoods, regardless of the impact on the air that we breathe and the water that we drink and the land that we live in. The Trump administration wants to be the only one to decide whether the company has to comply. And there is nothing that the impacted communities or the court or even Congress can do about it.
You described some of what is being emitted by these turbines. Can you tell me about the testimony, the experiences that people living in these neighborhoods they've gone through?
So the amount of NOx pollution that is coming out of these unpermitted turbines is not only enough to make it the largest source in the states surrounding the facility, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas, it's actually one of the largest NOx polluters in the nation. This pollution is being just foisted upon nearby communities, putting their health at risks for things like asthma, respiratory diseases, heart diseases, and even cancer.
If xAI wins here, I want your take on the stakes here. Of course, there are the stakes for this community, their health outcomes, their survival very much at stake. But I wonder what other environmental, labor, or regulatory issues future AI companies, whether it's Elon Musk's or someone else, that they would go forward and argue because of this. Well, this doesn't apply to me. We do things that are helpful for the federal government, so we can't be held accountable for this or that.
There are two things that the American public should be very concerned about. One is specific to data centers. There are data centers across the nation that are trying to supply their own power off the grid, as this one did. If this company is allowed to not be held accountable for the basic laws that protect the health of the people who live around it, then the same can be said of any data center across the country. The second thing that people should be very concerned about is the extraordinary breadth of the argument that the government is making here. It's not just the Clean Air Act, it's under all environmental law. What they're saying is we get to decide whether companies have to comply with the laws that are there to protect your health, that are there to protect your environment. And there's nothing you can do about it. Even if we get it wrong, there is nothing that you can do about it.
Yeah, I have to wonder how the MAHA part of the coalition feels about this in particular. The stakes are so high. Laura Toms, thank you so much for joining us.
Low down and nefarious, okay? They don't give a darn. They really don't. It is always something with these devils. It is always something with these devils, and they don't have a problem putting those things in our neighborhoods, okay? We still have the issue of the Cancer Alley situation down there in Louisiana, where all of those people are developing all sorts of cancer. And this has been going on for years. You all know that I reported this to you in like 2020. And they still have the problem. Nothing is happening. No one's trying to fix it. And, so they don't care. Okay, let's continue.
This morning, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt is asking multiple McCurtain County officials to step down from their jobs immediately. And he's sending in state investigators to see if anything illegal has happened. This move comes after the sheriff, a county commissioner, the jail administrator, and a sheriff's investigator were recorded by a local newspaper at a county meeting expressing frustration that they could not hang Black people anymore, and also openly threatening to kill two newspaper reporters. New this morning, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt is asking multiple McCurtain.
Did y'all hear that? They're complaining because they want to still hang and lynch Black people. You all don't find that disturbing? Okay, they're literally complaining about it. Like, that's their right. Did y'all hear that? Were y'all paying attention? Now, listen, so here's the thing of it. Okay, so this is McCurtain County, Oklahoma, right? Now, the report started the controversy was reported the first time in 2023, involving a secretly recorded conversation among several county officials. That's what they're talking about. Now, when we see Black people swinging from trees, they want to act like they did it to themselves. But you have these racist demons out here blatantly and boldly, proudly and loudly speaking about hanging Black people, from Jake Lang to now McCurtain County. Several officials. So listen. So according to the reporting, officials on the recording made racist remarks, including remarks that referenced lynching Black people. Now, the remarks sparked national outrage, protests, investigations, and calls for those officials to resign. Some of the officials denied wrongdoing or disputed aspects of the recording, while others left office following the controversy. Now, the incident drew widespread condemnation from state leaders and civil rights organizations. It was about the statements of individuals on the recording, okay, not an official policy or position of the county. So it was the people that were saying it, so they think that makes it feel better. Listen, it doesn't sound any better to me when those people are in high-ranking positions, okay? So they said it would not be accurate to say that McCurtain County, Oklahoma wants to still hang Black people. Please. Rather, several McCurtain County officials were caught on a recording making racist remarks, including comments about still hanging Black people, okay, which led to widespread condemnation. Honey, let me tell you something. The devils are still devils, okay? These people are their ancestors, period. They are their ancestors, okay? Make no mistake. But if you thought that was something, let's talk about Governor Brian Kemp. Now, he was caught on an audio. He was caught on the audio really as well with his racist stuff. This man is a whole racist. I'll be so glad when he leaves office.
Governor of Georgia caught on tape.
The Democrats are working hard. All these stories about them, registering all these minority voters that are out there and others that are sitting on the sidelines. If they can do that, they can win these elections in November.
Now, you can hear the hate that he has in his voice as he talks about the political power that Black and brown voters have, because we are a threat to power. But, and I need you to hear me on this, there is a lesson to be learned here, because more than our vote, what they really fear is our ability to organize. Walk with me. After the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act, Governor Kemp called for a special legislative session to redistrict the Georgia maps. And just like the other red states like Florida, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and Tennessee, his intention was to enact new maps to dismantle Black voting power. But then, on the day that Republicans were going to redistrict the Georgia maps, this happened.
Protesters rallied against Georgia's plans to redraw its political boundaries. Governor Kemp called state lawmakers back for a special session in late June.
Those protesters marched right here to the state capitol. They say Republicans are trying to weaken Black voting power.
This is absolutely an attempt to gerrymander. When they say something like, oh, we're cutting Democrat districts, they know for a fact that they're cutting Black districts.
They should be scared.
The people of Georgia are struggling.
The first day of special session started with Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock condemning efforts to redraw congressional district lines. He joined hundreds of people in protesting the special session called by Governor Brian Kemp after the Supreme Court decision.
Hundreds of activists, community organizers, and protesters came together, co-led by Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock, put the pressure on that Georgia Republican ass, and it was for that reason. Well, let the Republicans tell it for themselves.
For these reasons, House Republicans will not be taking up congressional or legislative redistricting maps for the 2028 election cycle during this special session.
Damn sure won't, bitch.
So really, the entire point is that we now know the playbook, but more importantly, how to fight back effectively. We shine a spotlight, organize quickly, show up in numbers, and make them feel the fucking pressure. Because if they don't fold, we will make their asses fold.
Okay, we're talking trash down here in Georgia. What the rest of y'all doing? Listen, here's the thing. Did you notice what he said? Okay, did you notice what he said? He basically said they were trying to do that because they fear the Democrats winning in November. That's the thing. The Democrats have to win so Trump can get the hell out of there. All his, not Trump, but all of his minions just won't have so much power and control. Okay, because this is just all getting crazy. They're doing everything. Now they want to put these data centers in our neighborhoods. They're taking over people's land and property through eminent domain to put up more data centers. The water is being polluted. In some areas, the water is just drying up. Why does Bill Gates own so much of the water in this country? Did you all even know this? I happen to hear Kyrie Irving going off about it too. These people are something else. These people are something else. Let's go to this video about the poor young lady who was found hanging. Tonia Nicole Miller, okay? Because, you know, I find it very interesting. They're still talking about hanging people, and they're now trying to say this young woman had done this to herself. I told you all that's what they would say. I told you all that's what they would say, just like always.
These stories we got to hear about before we decide enough is enough.
So what we're not going to do is skate past the fact that they found a 27-year-old African-American female hanging from a tree on Juneteenth in Florida. This young woman that you see here is 27-year-old Tonia Nicole Miller. She's from Michigan, and she was found on Juneteenth at the Gwen Cherry Park hanging from a tree. Now, that is in the Gladeview, Florida area, if you are not familiar with it. Ask me how much news coverage has been done on this. Zero. Not a single news station picked this story up. I found out about this on Facebook, and the family is asking for answers. They have tagged multiple news stations in the post that I've seen on Facebook, and I haven't seen anybody post anything yet. They have questions and they deserve answers. There is also footage circulating showing her hanging from this tree. Out of respect for the family, I will not be showing that here on my page. You are free to go over to Facebook and look at that video, but I cannot post that over here.
This is a darn shame, but they want us to think that these black people are doing this to themselves. If suddenly white folks started swinging from trees, you think they'd just be ruling all of them as suicides? You think they wouldn't have a whole investigation and the FBI coming in to find out what's going on? Of course they would. But when it's black people, they don't care. Okay, that's why I don't care about them. These racist MAGA minions, I can't stand any of them. Okay, period. Now, let's go to this video of Kyrie, because Kyrie has questions for Bill Gates, and I do too. These devils are just doing the most.
You know, the Gates family or Bill Gates owns a lot of the, you know, land in North Dakota. I think that's weird. He owns majority of the water in the United States. I think that's weird. Whatever. That, you know, weird. This to each his own. This for informational purpose only. But at the same time, it's just like when you go to the grocery store and you see certain products that are on there that, you know, they spray with a bunch of shit, bunch of pest. I still think it's weird that, you know, the Gates family or Bill.
Yeah, why does he need to own all that darn water? But hold on, let me tell you all something. Did you all hear about some of the athletes for the World Cup didn't want to eat the food here in the United States? Hold on, let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on, beloveds. They had food shipped in, supposedly. Okay, it was the Norwegian men's national soccer team. Okay, they brought a shipment of food from Norway to the United States. Their head chef said the reason was to keep players on familiar foods and maintain consistency. No, don't give me that BS. That's what ChatGPT is saying. But honey, I saw a video yesterday. Where they said they don't trust the food here. And I believe that's absolutely the reason. Because when you think about it, a lot of the foods that they sell here, groceries that is, because they did specifically say groceries, they didn't trust our groceries. Here it is right here. They said that, you know, a lot of this food that they sell us is in fact illegal, banned in many countries. But the U.S. doesn't mind if we eat it. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to go to this video. Like up, everyone, please like and share.
And reports circulated showing Norwegian athletes arriving with food supplies and nutrition products. Online reactions were immediate. Some users argued the move showed a lack of confidence in American food quality. Others pointed to differences between European and American food regulations, claiming athletes were avoiding certain ingredients commonly found in US products. The narrative spread quickly. Norway doesn't trust American food. European athletes won't eat US food. They had to bring their own supplies. But viral claims often leave out important context. And that's where the real story begins. According to team representatives and reports surrounding the event, Norwegian athletes brought specific food items and nutritional products that are already part of their training and competition routines. Rather than arriving with months' worth of groceries because they feared local food, the team reportedly traveled with familiar nutrition products.
No, they don't have time for it. Y'all not about to kill us. I don't blame them. They say y'all are not about to kill us. But listen, let me tell you all something. So I eat the same type of foods as BB and them, because you all do know that they have their food specially marked. Okay, they have special markings on their food, special labels, so you know it's their food, so they're not eating the poison. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? Put ones in the chat. Did you all know? Did you all know that BB and them have special markings on their food so they recognize it in the grocery store? DJ Big Six knows. Yeah, I eat the same damn food they eat. Ha! Okay? Please miss me with all of it. All right? Please miss me with all of it, honey. I'm going to eat the same food they eat. All right? And then I'll tell you something else too. When they have one of their holidays, I'm not sure if it's the Passover, but when they have one of their holidays, they sell the sodas like the Coca-Colas in the stores. I don't drink sodas, but I'm just telling you all, for those of you that do, they have the Coca-Colas in the grocery stores with the yellow cap on them. Have you all ever seen those with the yellow cap? They don't have all that fructose and sugar and all of that stuff. I believe they're sweetened with like sugar cane or something natural. It's definitely natural. But they sell those only during the time of this specific holiday they have. I can't remember. Hold on. Let me look it up. Hold on, beloveds. Here it is. Okay, so they're sold every spring for the Jewish holiday, the Passover. Yeah, so that's the one. And these special yellow-capped bottles appear in stores weeks leading up to and during the 8-day holiday. The regular Coke is sweetened with high fructose corn syrup, which is derived from corn, an ingredient that many of these people, the Jewish people, try to avoid during the Passover. So they have the Passover Coke, is what they call it, and it is made using real cane sugar instead of corn syrup, making it strictly kosher for the Passover. All right? Y'all heard that, right? Deronda said you quit drinking soda 30 years ago. Honey, I did too. It wasn't 30 years ago, but I quit drinking soda at least 15 years ago. Okay? I just drink water, organic juices, and herbal tea. And every now and then, organic coffee. Okay, in the mornings. Reggie said they buy it up too. Well, you better start beating them to the punch, beloved. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I'm about to be out of here. Listen, my job is done for now. I have another broadcast coming up. I'm not sure exactly what time because the person I'm interviewing had court today thanks to the nefarious people who are Jeff Metcalf friends trying to get him locked up. Okay? So, we'll be back when he gets out of court. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I love you all to life. If you missed the broadcast that I posted last night, I didn't upload last night, a premiere rather, about this woman, this Karen, who claims that she was assaulted by some black woman and that the woman was, the two women or whatever, they were saying, "Free Carmelo," as they punched her, as they beat her. Ha! Do y'all believe it? Because I sure as hell didn't. But anyway, the video's posted. All right. So I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this day. Don't forget to tune in for the next broadcast. Okay. And so until next time, beloveds, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
With that flavor all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got